right, let's just give it a second to recycle and do its thing.
Cool.
A little bit of awkward 5 seconds in the beginning. Hey, we're live. Hey, everyone, and welcome to the CPA-fol podcast episode. Let me look at the title. 47, almost 50. Can you believe
50.
that? So here, I did tease this a bit on my Instagram. So if you're coming over from Instagram, I am live. Wait, do you know where I'm at? Can you tell where I'm at?
BRICKS MINIFIGs, Novi, Michigan.
Yes, Novi, Michigan. This store opened up a little over a month ago, but it's been in the works for over a year.
Our owners had been hoarding stuff for the past year, and then we had a good launch with like plenty of stuff, maybe too much stuff. Had to have a few sales to free up some tables.
Absolutely. And so this, for the normal viewers of the CPA-fol podcast, this is going to be a little different, largely because we're off-site, or I guess on-site, depending how you want to look at it, but out of the normal office, if you could say. So I won't be able to check the chat, put the chat on screen as much. I do have the laptop down here, so keeping an eye on things with my phone and down below, just to make sure things are going as smoothly as possible. But as always, certainly let us know if you can't hear, or if you can hear too much. That's certainly something we want to make sure is addressed to make sure that the viewing experience is as good as possible. So that being said, let's kind of just dive right into things. Being at BRICKS Minifigs, experiencing a new location yourself.
Yeah.
First of all, introduce yourself, because you haven't been on the show just yet.
No.
But we've talked for a while, so give the audience a little introduction.
My name is Luke. On Instagram and YouTube, I'm Stud Economy, but lately I've just been the assistant manager at BRICKS Minifigs Novi. So I like to track Lego prices, aftermarket values, that sort of thing. Do videos kind of breaking down any sort of maybe a Lego controversy related thing. But then here I'm just kind of back to basics, just being an anchor. Whenever anybody has any sort of question, I have the answer to their questions. We have a Bionicle deal going on right now. We just poured out a whole bunch of Bionicles, and so somebody will look at a part and I go, oh, that's from Thok, the Paraka.
Yeah, for real. And kind of shifting from your Instagram page or YouTube channel and how dealing with AFOLs on a regular basis. Here it's a little different because you're dealing with just normal people who like Lego and just want to get set XYZ or what have you. So is that kind of refreshing sometimes to just be able to answer?
It makes me feel special because my normal way previously, before this job of interacting with the community, was going to Brick World Chicago, where I may end up meeting Lego personalities that everybody knows. And then I kind of take it for granted a little bit. I've met so-and-so. Oh, yeah, actually, they followed me back or whatever. Yeah. And then here, I tell that to somebody, and they're like, are you serious? Yeah. Really? You met him? You know her?
Yeah.
What were they like in person? I'm like, they were really short. They're shorter than you expect.
Well, see, I feel like it's either shorter than you expect or taller than you expect.
We're taller than you expect. We're taller than everybody you've ever met.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think I have the camera angled a little bit, so you might look a little taller, but I feel like we're the same.
Yeah,
I think
6'3". It's a
6'2", 6'3".
A draw. Yeah, 6'3".
Okay, yeah, then we are the same height, so I don't feel as bad. But no, it is cool to kind of see two sides of the Lego community. Mm-hmm. And with this being a new location here, great location, by the way. Right now, we're standing in the party room, and it currently has 4 tables. It's a bit cleaned up than it used to be because there, like you said, the store had so much overflow of Lego sets that they literally had to fill the party room with all these tables and sets on tables. Are all those pretty much gone, by the way?
Yeah, we do have some stuff kind of shoved into our 2 back rooms here. I know that a nearby location, probably one of the best BRICKS Minifigs locations in all of Michigan, BRICKS Minifigs Grand Rapids, they have a similar issue with where are they going to put stuff. And so we are now realizing why that's an issue, because we're experiencing it ourselves. And the advice I got from them was that we need to take apart more sets. But then it's difficult because when we want to bring it back out, we have to set somebody down that we're paying hourly to build it again.
Yeah.
And if it's a big set, that's going to be their whole shift.
Yeah, and this location has a lot of big sets. I know, let me just peek into the corner. There was a Super Star Destroyer on the
yep.
table. Is that gone already, or is that still here?
What's happening is that our store owner, Kevin, he really likes, his new favorite thing is certifying sets, which is something that Bricks and Minifigs do, where we take apart an entire set, inventory it as we're going, and we certify that all the parts are there, and then we rebag it. And so therefore, when somebody buys it, they have like the authentic.
Yeah,
Lego
rebagging
experience.
meaning bag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
some of the
up to
old
30.
Ones, yeah, some of the old ones don't have numbers. So in that case, we do kind of break it into chunks to try to help out. Maybe even make it a better building experience because we're better. We improved.
Better than Lego.
And so yeah, the Super Star Destroyer he took home and he put his son on duty of taking that apart.
Hopefully his son got a little bonus or something hourly, maybe? No? It was just for the experience?
I don't think so.
For the culture?
He said that his son's spoiled enough. He can.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like his son. He doesn't act like he's spoiled.
Hey, that's a good thing. If they're not
Nice
spoiled.
kid.
Because I know a lot of times with the AFOL's kids, they can kind of just see Lego as just...
Yes.
It's
guess
just
I do
another
experience
thing.
that.
Like,
yeah.
it's not special.
Somebody's dad comes in and they're like, that pirate ship, I had that pirate ship in 1988 when I was just a little boy. And they're like,
Cool.
where's the Ninjago?
Which there's a lot of, by the way. I'm looking at... Is that an older Ninjago set right there in the corner?
Not that old.
No?
No,
Teens?
it's like 2-3 years old.
Oh, that's not bad at
Don't
all.
make me feel old saying that's old. Old would be like 2011 Ninjago. That's actually, there's a lot of kids who come in looking for like the original Ninjago, and it's like hard to find because, and I was like, oh well, that's all I know Ninjago as.
Yeah.
That's like out of all of the Lego themes, I probably know the least about Ninjago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
me
then
too.
They put us on the spot. It's
Yeah.
like, oh.
Well, hey, that gives you a chance to learn something new.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
help the next person because, like you said, I imagine someone else is going to come along
Yep.
looking for those sets. So how did you get involved with this store here and kind of get, because you've really, in the, I don't know if it's your famous spread to other Bricks and Minifigs, but you've really taken hold here, taken grasp of even the social media angle as well.
The way I found out about this location was actually really funny. I was doing a YouTube video researching different thefts that had been happening at Bricks and Minifigs locations, and so I was going through all of the different locations and looking at who had been affected, and also just like how the distribution across the United States was for all of these spots, and just how, like, for the actual franchises themselves, how they're all spread out. And then I saw Bricks and Minifigs Novi. I live in Novi. There's not a Bricks and Minifigs Novi, and so I sent an email at like 1 a.m. And I'm like, if you are a store that exists, do you also have jobs that exist? I would like one. And I didn't even think about going for a manager position, but then I got full of myself and was like, you know what? I know a lot.
Hey.
Maybe that's what they need in a manager. Yeah, and I know that I come from Colorado, where they're opening up like a whole bunch of new franchises. So I reached out to somebody back there who has a lot of knowledge in Lego, and I said, hey, apply for their manager position. You have what it takes.
They need people like that.
Yeah.
Because that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, making a good customer experience, helping customers figure out what they don't know, or even figuring out what they don't know about what they don't know. And for the most part, you can do that if you know the brand.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other places. Like maybe you could have like a Home Depot employee who knows nothing about carpentry. And that kind of gets frustrating when you're like trying to buy some planks and you go in there and they're like, I don't know what that is. And it's like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
Like the Ron Swanson.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I know more than you. Pretty much all of us, anyone watching this stream, walking into a Lego store, is pretty much how that conversation goes. I feel like, well, and I don't necessarily know this personally, but I think if you want to work at a Lego store, they prefer to not hire AFOLs. Is that correct?
Say that. I was going to say that I have applied at like 3 different Lego stores in the past, and never even heard back from them. Although I do think that the bad strategy there was that I'm like, I have an Instagram. Do you want to check out my Instagram and my YouTube page? I am #1 AFOL.
Yeah.
And they're like, this guy is gonna ruin the whole ecosystem.
Is that what
if we hire him?
Do you know what they're worried about? Like, I'm sure I could ask someone, but
because obviously when you work at a Lego store, they give you a discount on the product. They want you to care about the product. But I think maybe it's like they want somebody who's more of a fresh slate than somebody who I can imagine there being something like, oh, well, if he's that obsessed with Lego, then he's going to want to like steal a gift with purchase or like kind of skirt the system. Because, especially like if you told a Lego store, like, I'm a reseller, it's like, no, thank you, please go away. You are not what we want.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it's totally different with Bricks and Minifigs, because you can even have people who are like owners or investing in this Bricks and Minifigs location that aren't as familiar as who they could end up hiring. And so then, yeah, like I know that our owners don't know very much about Bionicle. Makes sense. Only people who know about Bionicle are people born in like 1998. And I was born in 1998.
The 90s, basically.
So, yeah, it's like adding something to the workplace as opposed to complicating what
that's
they
true.
already have going on.
And I feel like even you brought up a point that I haven't thought of previously, where you have, I'm sure 60% of men that would try to work at a Lego store like Lego Star Wars. So maybe they're trying to convince purchasers to be like, you don't want that botanical set. Go buy this Lego Star Wars set. And it's just, you're not presenting a balanced approach to the whole catalog that Lego has to offer.
I bet if you applied at a Lego store and said your favorite theme was Friends, they'd be like, hire them right away. Get them in here.
We need to sell more Friends sets. And Cooper brings up a good point. He says leaks. Lego leaks. If you work at Lego and you're in the community, everyone wants to know the earliest thing. I want to know the earliest thing possible.
I do know the earliest thing.
And that's why you work at Bricks and Minifigs.
That's why I'm here.
So if you know the earliest thing, you can work at Bricks and Minifigs too. Do you think Kevin would hire me part time? Maybe.
We'll have to fire a few people and then we'll bring you on board.
Open up the cap space for CPA-fol or something like that.
There has been like horror stories in the past at Lego stores where there is a leak that comes out and then it traces back to the store and then they have to fire somebody because they were like taking pictures of their catalog or some sort of advanced information.
But would that be like manager level people? Because certainly the associates wouldn't.
I think what happened was that associates did have access, and now they've like reeled that back.
Oh yeah,
I've heard a few good stories on like other podcasts back in the day when somebody would interview a former Lego store employee, and they'd be like, "Oh, you wouldn't believe what happened in my store."
That's exciting, in a way. Yeah.
Not for the guy who got fired.
No, rest in peace. Hopefully maybe he got a job at a Bricks and Minifigs.
That
Honestly,
would be best case scenario.
That would be ideal.
Yeah.
Or he opened one. Or he started Bricks and Minifigs in general.
He is Mr. Bricks and Minifigs. Actually, it was founded by two guys, Adam Bricks and Bob Minifigs.
So speaking of Bricks and Minifigs, and you've mentioned coming from Colorado, then moving here, what's been your exposure to various Bricks and Minifigs across the country even? So
I have been to a couple, I believe, in Colorado, California, and then I go to Brickworld Chicago every year. So then every Bricks and Minifigs along the way there, and then here, not the last time we saw each other, but the time before that was at Brickworld Grand Rapids. So then on the way there, there's two Bricks and Minifigs, and they're all like within the past 2 years is when they opened up, and there can be a lot of variance. You can go into some where it just feels absolutely crowded, like they're a hoarder of sets, and then you go into others where like they're more organized. I think our layout lends for us to be more organized.
Agreed.
And not for it to be cluttered. But then also when they make their store look like Duck Bricks' basement, it honestly probably works out for them because there's more to choose from when a customer comes in, and they don't have to do the sales where we're like, okay, we need to get rid of some stock.
But to your point, that's in my mind, it's a double-edged sword just because it looks a little off-putting. Yeah. Of like, especially if you're a normie, if you're a hardcore AFOL, that would probably be Legoland for many people. But
like some grandparents walk in, they're like,
what do I get, little Timmy? Like, what on earth? Where do I even start?
Yes.
So. Yeah, it's kind of a good way to look at it.
Another thing that I've noticed about Bricks and Minifigs locations is they're usually in a strip mall. Like, I guess we're kind of in a strip mall here. We're in like the best spot of the strip mall. It doesn't even feel like it.
Oh yeah.
And so what they've got is just businesses on either side. So then all you got is windows at the very front of the store. And so as you get towards the back of the store, it's just dark.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
It's like the alley style
Yeah.
of what would you even call it? Like of the business park,
Yeah.
basically. And that's one thing I really appreciate about this one is, and you can't really tell from the screen or from the camera angle, but if you go back around the corner, it's like a diamond.
Yeah. Like a weird
And then there's
hexagon shape,
another diamond on this side with the party room. So I really like the layout, and it just lends itself to being more open.
Yeah.
And then just more wall space.
Right.
And just all.
I guess we've got a good amount of wall space. But then I guess those stores where they do have businesses on either side, they can put shelves everywhere.
Yeah.
Where here we've got like so many windows that it's like, okay, I guess that's where we got to put our minifigure cases.
Yeah.
Because nothing else would be really useful over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even to your point, what you mentioned, having a lot of excess sets and not a lot of back room area makes it tough.
Yeah.
So have you guys kind of figured out how to navigate?
It's for now we're like trying various solutions, like mainly like liquidating sets when we get too many to handle, as well as sometimes some of the owners will take sets home when we know we're not going to be, so like kind of using our own personal houses as sort of like a backstock area. And in the future it'd be nice to solve that, but also it's already pretty cramped in the boiler room, so we don't need to keep packing stuff in there.
Because is that room
the one at the very
that
back
room?
Yeah.
So, and it's not that big anyways,
No.
so that makes it a little tough. But I guess the way I see it is kind of good problems than the opposite. Like, what would the opposite be? You have a lot of space and you don't have a lot of sets to fill it. Or it's not as inviting, or I mean, like once this party room gets started, do you know if you already have events
so we
lined
have some
up?
birthday parties coming up, and what we there was all of the Bricks and Minifigs, to my knowledge, did the Dungeons and Dragons event the other day, where there
I didn't hear about that.
Okay, so all of the Bricks and Minifig stores around the country, they all like tapped into like one central feed, and then each party had like 2 or 3 tables where they would run through the same game of Dungeons and Dragons. I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons. And then so they could break a world record, saying we had the most concurrent Dungeons and Dragons
D&D,
games occurring at one point in time. Actually, it was not Dungeons and Dragons. It was a tabletop role-playing game of an indeterminate name.
The unaffiliated version.
Yes.
Royalty-free, IP-free, no
royalty-free,
no royalties due.
Basements and wyverns.
And was it that happened here?
Yep. Yeah, it was cool. It like went late into the night.
How many people, give or take?
There was like 11 people.
Okay.
Yeah. It
So
was
yeah,
awesome.
they're all in one game probably at that point, or did you have 2?
2 games.
2 games. Which that's 2, 5, and 6. That's a pretty. It's a good table.
It was cool.
That's fun. So what else with and I know Kevin had mentioned having a lot of local community outreach.
Yeah.
And especially down the strip, there's a Kumon, which is for those of you not in the Midwest Michigan region, it's a local learning center for kids. Do you know if you've been able to work out any?
Them, but there's some other businesses like that that we are cooperating with going forward. Actually, the coolest thing was just the other day, the local First Lego League came in, and they do like robotics competitions. And I expected like robotics, like they're gonna be like early teens. These were young kids, like smarter than I was at that age, that's for sure. And they came in and used our party room here and worked on their assignment for like their next competition coming up. It was like an aquatic theme, so we pulled all of the sharks and manta rays and dolphins out of our cases so that they could use them in their I didn't end up seeing the final product. I don't know how you can use little Lego sharks and stuff for a robotics project, but I made it work.
I would guess just the trimmings and the trappings to make it look cool, but hey, they're like probably more creative than I am, I'll say
aquarium.
That
would be cool.
Yeah, but was it the kind of robotics where you have the goal that you have to achieve, or was it just like build a cool robot?
Assignment, and then they take it to a competition later on.
Okay. Yeah. Because that was back home where I'm from. That's that's a huge thing. I know there's a couple groups in the local area, and they have this one nonprofit place where it's like a bunch of small rooms and people do that kind of builds. And I think they go down to the state capitol if they win, and then eventually they'll go down to Atlanta or wherever the national championships are being held that year. But
sounds way cooler intense. Than debate club or Model UN.
Is that what it's called?
No. It's like a debate club.
They do a fake.
Do you know about Model UN?
The United Nations kind of thing.
Yeah, they all like meet up and I think they role play as different countries. Lame. Doesn't involve Legos. Bring in some Legos and maybe then you'll have my attention.
Yeah, whoever's the country of Denmark.
Yeah,
they should just
Denmark. Only Model UN country that matters.
Bring in a bunch of Lego and say, this is how we're gonna solve world peace. Just give everyone a free Lego set. Mm-hmm. They could do that probably. How many? Are we up to 8 billion people in the world?
Give every one of them at least free one Lego brick. Give them a little Spider-Man minifigure.
With arm printing or without arm printing? With dual molded legs.
If there's no dual molded legs, that's not going to solve world peace.
It probably would create more conflict.
It
honestly.
Would, especially if you gave one country the dual molded legs and the other country not dual molded legs. Yeah,
it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Also, we have a lot of schools in the area, and so we haven't done too much outreach yet. But they'll come to us and be like, "Hey, advertise in our yearbook," or even like we have team members who come from like different schools in the area because we have like teenagers working for us, and so then that is kind of like, oh, that's where Connor works.
Yeah, nice.
Go over there.
Nice. Any kind of fun or interesting stories with customers you've had so far? We'll try and stick with the good side because I'm sure there.
Oh, I can't talk about the bad stuff. I honestly, the first one that comes to mind is like very self-absorbed. It's just like every time somebody's like, "I need to find this piece," and I'm like, "It's right there. I can see it from a mile away." Oh, you need that? It's right under the table, here. I've got it. Making your dreams come true. Actually, I do that. I'm annoying. I'll be like, "Hey," I'll look over at another employee. I'll be like, I'm about to make this guy's dreams come true. Then I like sprinkle the parts in his hand, and they're like, "Dang. He really does make dreams come true."
You probably made his dreams come true.
Yep.
Honestly,
he does not need to go to Bricklink anymore.
Which honestly, this is a lot easier. Than that.
Yeah.
So actually, that's a question that I have. How often do parts go to bulk versus to sets? Because
I
think
for
it could
now,
depend.
pretty much all parts go to bulk.
Okay.
Because sometimes, like if you've got a set and it's missing a few parts, you could end up taking a couple hours to find those parts. I guess this was something I wanted to talk about during this live stream was the difference between like running your own Lego business, maybe like a Bricklink store, versus having a Bricks and Minifigs location.
Yeah.
Where if you have a Bricks and Minifigs location, you're paying people hourly, and so it feels like, I would say, the time is more valuable, and you don't want to misspend that time. But then if you're just working out of your basement, you're kind of treating it like a hobby, then maybe it's like, yeah, I am going to go through all my parts to find this one part to complete this Hogwarts set that now that I found that one part, it's worth so much more.
Yeah.
But here it's like, okay, do we really want to task somebody with digging through the table the whole time? And then you could say, oh, well, here's a solution. Just sort all the parts. And it's like,
that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of
work.
So
much work.
You may be able to see a little bit behind us. It might be slightly out of frame. Somebody donated sorted parts. So in that case,
I think I'm out of the way. Yeah, right there.
In that case, we're not going to unsort it. We'll leave it sorted. We'll dedicate a table to it, and then that'll make people coming in filling up their bulk tubs and their bags. They just see it right there. They can pull it out of the drawer. Although what's funny about those is the guy who sorted those, I think he stopped collecting like 2003. So it's all old grays. The Technic parts are like, I've never even seen them before.
You know the Bionicle, the black Technic and the pin and axle?
Yes.
Are there like a whole slab of those in there, or did
I may have put them all in my bulk bag? We all wanted those.
Oh, I believe it. Because those are like $1 each or something crazy like that?
That is something that makes Bricks and Minifigs like stand out because you can't. So people often come in, they're like, I'm looking for this list of parts. And it's like, okay, well, technically we have to dig through the tables for that. But once you do find those parts, you're not paying based on the value of the part. You're paying based on how much space it
Yeah.
takes up, which
Yeah.
is more like fair. It's not really tapping into the aftermarket at all. It's just like volume.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you come in and you can find, for me, I build a lot of Bionicle mocks, and so it's like the ball joint with the through axle hole. And then if you
Probably
wanna
found a
buy
ton
that,
of those, I
yeah,
imagine.
Yeah. I try not to hoard too many parts. Earlier today, a guy was looking for those, and I pulled some out of my bulk bag because it's like,
Oh, that's
okay, you
nice.
know what? I can't have all of them.
Yeah.
I can't win every time. And then when I do charitable things like that, I brag about it just to show how charitable I am.
How big your humility is.
Yes.
Big
And so
humility.
if you were to buy those parts on BrickLink, it's like 25 cents.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not going to spend $1 for 4 of those things. Like, I
But
need
then
8 for this
then on top of that, it adds up to shipping, tax.
Yes.
If there's a fee because
Yeah.
the seller doesn't allow a
Yeah.
low quantity of purchasing,
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
What I notice is that prices across the board on BrickLink in the United States are higher because the shipping cost is lower. But then if you go, I think that's kind of the
and they're
correlation there.
technically imported, if you
Yes.
will.
Yeah. And so if you start to order from BrickLink from actually like Denmark, your shipping's going to be way higher, but the prices are like, ooh, that's super enticing. And so there's kind of like this balance there
Yeah.
where sometimes I spend way too much time if I am buying on BrickLink being like, okay, if I bought from this store, how much would that cost? And then I make like the whole cart, and then I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
And you waste a lot of time
Yeah.
building up these shopping carts.
Yeah, I do like. I would say I like BrickLink most, and I purchased a couple minifigure type purchases where I need like these legs, this torso, this minifigure accessory, or just a straight up minifigure for a short that I recently released for the Cowboy Deadpool.
Yes.
I needed a minifig with the bandana covering his face, and then I needed a hat and that. So I created the list and then ran through someone's store. Thankfully, he had pretty much all the pieces I need.
Yeah.
And in retrospect, I'm glad I bought. It was a Ninjago Stone Scout minifig. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. He's got like the red samurai hat, and then he's got the bandana.
I don't know Ninjago, but I can know the hat you're talking about.
It looked, if I had to guess, it was an older minifig, but he had the black arms with the red hands, which I needed.
Okay, cool.
But I didn't know at the time that I needed them. It was when I was making the video. It's like, really glad I got that whole thing. Also, fun fact, the seller was in Florida, and I purchased it about 2 weeks ago.
I see where this is going.
When there was a certain hurricane.
Yeah.
And he sent me a message and was like, sorry, one of the hats you purchased, the cowboy hats you purchased, because I grabbed like 4 of them.
Floated away in the storm.
Well, he said, I thought I had it, but I don't.
Yeah.
So because there's a hurricane, and this was on like Tuesday, and the hurricane was going to hit on Wednesday or Thursday, he's like, because there's a hurricane coming, I just decided I'll give you a $2 refund, and I'll throw in a couple extra hats.
Cool.
And then because I want to get it shipped out already, so I don't miss it. Fortunately, it got to me by like Thursday, so it missed the hurricane. But that was a really positive example.
He's like, I gotta prioritize the life of my family over your purchase. I apologize, sir. I hope you shop with us again.
I mean, I feel like I would have been fine if he said, "There's a hurricane coming. Let's figure this out after." But dude was like, he prioritized his BrickLink purchasers and his family above his own well-being. So I gave him a very high review, whatever the highest one is, and I even said in my review, like, this dude shipped it out with a pending hurricane. He's a real one. So that was a funny example of how BrickLink can sometimes go.
When people come into the store looking for parts and I can't find them, my best advice for them is to use BrickLink.
Yep.
And so basically I say to make a wanted list of everything that you need, and then there's like the big green buy all or easy buy button in the corner, and then that'll be like, oh, well, this one store has 75% of what you need, and then that really saves you a lot of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a huge, amazing feature. And I think when I was first looking through BrickLink a couple months ago, in my mind I was like, that'd be really cool if they had a feature like that.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yep.
As old as the BrickLink website is, I think it's still from hasn't been updated since 2000 when it was first made. It has that feature, which is amazing.
Somebody pointed out to me recently that there's an option to share your wanted list. And it said coming soon. And it said coming soon for 4 years.
Probably when Lego purchased it
Must have
in like
been,
2019 or
yeah.
something. Because apparently I've talked to a couple people at Bricklink, and it's literally the website is from 2000.
Yeah.
And so any updates they have to do, I don't know if they're all like HTML, CSS
Yeah.
kind of junk,
Yes.
and they have to really get in there and do some old-fashioned coding.
Yeah,
but to get it,
The
is
people
just
they
a
bring
pain.
on nowadays don't know what Flash Player even is, and now they have to code it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got on the docket. Like I said, we won't talk about any negative experiences here. I'm sure those have been few and far between, though.
No, it's all great experiences because it's like turning your hobby into your job. People say like don't do it,
Yeah.
but I think they're wrong. Because especially we've had all the Bionicle stuff going
Yeah.
on lately. I feel like I'm not even working. I'm just like
Yeah.
playing with Bionicles.
And part of it is, so for me, it was I purchased a bunch of lots, bulk, not bulk per se,
Yep.
but a bunch of big lots where I knew I wouldn't want everything from it, and just like to get a little in the weeds. There was one lot where it was $50. It had a complete Exotoa.
Sweet.
It had Boxor complete, a bunch of the Tohunga, a couple of Mata, a couple
Yeah.
of Nuva. So I was like, all right, this is worth way more than $50.
Yep.
Exotoa itself is worth $50. I'm going to get it. But now I've kind of accumulated all this extra stuff that I
Yes.
want to offload at some point, hopefully at Brick World Chicago next
Yes.
year.
Yes.
But I mean, I feel like now I have all this mental, like this stuff is taking up space.
Yep.
Whereas here you get to play with Bionicle, and it's like it's
Yeah,
not yours.
It's never a burden
Yeah,
for me personally.
yeah, exactly. So I feel like that kind of scratches the itch.
Yes.
And you can pick the parts you need
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff.
An anecdote that I keep mentioning is like I worked at Target for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and one of my jobs at Target at one point in time was working in the soft lines in the clothing department, and so I would be like folding little baby T-shirts all day, and I get home and I do not want to do my laundry.
Oh,
But
yeah.
here I'm like wearing my fingertips down to nubs, sorting through Legos, and then I get home and I'm like, I'm gonna build the sail barge. I'm gonna spend all my free time doing the exact same thing. So I think that means that I enjoy the job.
I would
Yeah.
agree as well. So speaking of, did you get the sail barge?
I did get the sail barge because now I've had to justify this purchase to so many people. I've got the script down.
There you
You
go.
can get double VIP at various points in time, and double VIP for the sail barge. Gosh, is that
10% off.
Yeah, so that would be like $50.
Yeah.
And then tax for the sail barge is around like $25. It would be a little less once you apply the. I guess you don't get to use your VIP on the sail barge. It's like save for later. So
Yes.
yeah, you're paying like
Yep.
$25 tax. And so in that case, you're really only saving like 25 maybe. If that's how you want to think
Yeah.
about it.
How you
Boy
shake it out.
math.
Yep.
And so then what I did was I got it like day one,
So you got the
so that I can get the gift with
GWP.
purchase.
Yep.
And personally, for other people, that's like they want to keep the lightsaber.
I was a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
I have the Luke one from the
Yeah.
AT-AT.
Yep.
That one was like 0.45 to 1 scale.
Yep.
This one is like 0.95 to 1 scale.
The
So
scale's different.
it's the newest one. It's really close.
Okay.
So the newest ROTJ it's about 10, 11 inches long. The real one I think is 11 inches long.
I guess it depends.
So it's
on, like,
really close.
If you want this shape in Lego, you got to go with that part, and
Yeah.
then you get locked to a scale.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing when Mos Eisley came out. Was I sold Yoda's lightsaber?
Yep.
So I've already been. I got off the bandwagon the second I was on the bandwagon. So yes, I'm planning on selling the lightsaber.
So that'll get you like 150.
The prices are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It seems like looking at sold, and it's always important if you're going on eBay to look at sold
Yes.
listings, not what people are
Yep.
asking for, but what's actually sold. And it's like for the first week, it was like 175, 200, and now I expect that to go down a little bit, or maybe just stay kind of steady. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I expect it 150 at least
Yeah.
to get back from that, which is way more than I would get if I did the double VIP.
Exactly.
And then,
And it's straight cash too.
yes, yeah. It you don't have to go back to Lego buy
Yep.
another thing to be like I saved money by buying more stuff.
Lego's like, yeah, keep thinking that.
Yeah.
You got it, buddy. Keep going. Go on to the next
actually,
one.
plug, at Bricks and Minifigs, we every $100 you spend, you get $5 back.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's basically the 5%, just like if you're doing VIP or insiders.
Yeah.
points.
No, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's one good reason. If you already feel like buying from Lego is a good deal, it's pretty much just as good of a deal to come to a Bricks and Minifigs store.
Does that require an account or something?
Yes, so
or?
we just take your name and your email,
Nice.
and then it actually is per store because each Bricks and Minifigs
Yeah.
is a franchise.
Yeah.
So then your points don't cross between stores. And I'm pretty sure that happens because like if we did like a great deal, people would like rack up a bunch of points, and then they go somewhere else where they don't have that deal, and they're like, "You're gonna spend all your points here." So yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And that makes
sorry,
sense. I mean, from each, I feel like, do you know if, is the store allowed to opt in and allow that?
I wonder.
I guess that would be an
if-
owner, just
right,
owner
like
by owner
if
basis.
our owners opened a second store, I think they could probably allow the accounts to cross over.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
But yeah, that's just how it works with
Yeah.
franchising and
Yeah, because
different individual owners, whereas Lego stores are all owned by the Lego group.
Yeah.
Because I doubt they have a franchise model with their Lego stores. That would
Although,
surprise me.
I went to a Legoland Discovery Center, and I felt like their standards for the Lego store attached to the Legoland Discovery Center was like way lower than most Lego stores. So maybe there is like a bit of a branch in the company there.
Certainly, I don't know from an ownership
Yeah.
entity level structure, but certainly because I think you cannot get a GWP at a Discovery Center.
Oh.
There's like stuff like that.
Dang.
I don't know if maybe if it's even something like they don't allow double VIPs.
Oh man.
I don't know if it goes that far,
Maybe,
but I'm
yeah.
90% sure. Someone in the comments can correct me.
Yeah.
They don't allow, they don't sell GWPs on those release days.
They had
So,
like old sets there, like not old desirable sets, but like sets that will not sell.
Yeah.
And it's like a normal Lego store would have clearanced these out, got them off the shelf. Nobody's buying the Avatar sets at this point. If they wanted the Avatar sets, they got the Avatar sets when
Yeah.
they went on 90% off at Walmart.
See, I never saw those sales. So I wanted a couple of the Avatar sets. I guess I did get the mech fight with Natiri
Yeah,
for
that one was, like, the
$19,
best.
which
Sick.
is like
It's like 50%
60,
off.
yeah,
Yeah.
50, 60% off. I also wanted the Natiri and Jake's first flight
Sweet.
with
Yep.
the whatever the flying creatures
Yeah.
are called. And then my last one that's kind of like probably will never get just because it's just ever so slightly too high.
Yeah.
The Tree of Souls.
Yep.
Just because it has the big flight
Yeah.
creature
Yeah.
and then a bunch of minifigs. So, but that one, I think the cheapest it was 85, which is a really, really good deal.
Yep.
I think it retailed at 150 or 160. So,
Yeah. The one they had at the Legoland Discovery Center was like the whale set, like Tyakun or
Yep.
whatever, and that whale looked really awesome.
Yeah.
But they had it for full price.
like
and I was
120
Yeah.
bucks or something
It was,
like that,
I think,
or 100,
100,
100
yeah.
even. Yeah, I know people were getting that for 50
Yes.
every once in a while,
Yeah.
$40,
Yeah,
which
and
is
then
crazy.
those sort of sales kind of translate to Bricklink. Like if somebody's getting a bunch of stuff for cheap, they put it on Bricklink, and then they're like, oh well, I want to sell this quickly, I'll mark mine lower, and then everyone else is like, oh well, I want to sell mine,
Yeah.
so the average goes down, and then Bricks and Minifigs stores we base our prices on Bricklink and eBay sold
Yes.
listings. So then everybody kind of lowers the price.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and I have noticed that with the Grand Rapids Bricks and Minifigs.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like their Bionicle stuff it was a little high, but I
Yeah.
feel like that's mainly because out there certainly there's a pretty big Bionicle
Yeah.
base,
Oh, okay.
so stuff goes quick.
Yeah.
Like they'll post on their Instagram that they have a shipment of 10 Bionicle
Yeah.
complete with the canister. They'll post it on Instagram. You get there by noon or
Yeah.
1 or 2,
Oh my gosh.
half of it's gone
Yeah.
already, which is pretty crazy. So
I do find it interesting that Bricks and Minifigs stores, maybe they want something to go quickly, so they list it lower. Or they want something as like a centerpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, like I don't know if we really did this with our pricing for these sets, but we've got like the Pirates of the Caribbean Black Pearl and the Coliseum. And those are kind of attractions. Like you come in and you look at we want everyone to look at them.
Yeah.
And so in that case it's like, well, maybe we don't go too low with the
Yeah.
price because we want people to check these out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And then our owner will like he's always super nice to people about the prices. I'm like, no, we it's the Black Pearl.
Yeah.
We don't need to sell it for that
Yeah,
low.
for real.
But then yep.
So Cooper, he mentioned Legoland Parks and Discovery aren't owned by Lego anymore,
Huh.
which I didn't know that. If you know Cooper, I'm curious who
That sounds familiar.
owns those now. Is it just they're their own individual stores?
So I think I was doing research into the fact that Lego lands they're cooperating with like the Peppa Pig lands, and I think I saw during that there's like a parent company for both of those. I mean, the mall where I went to the Legoland Discovery Center, right down the hallway, was a Peppa Pig World of Play. I took a photo in front of it to make my friends think I was going to the Peppa Pig World of Play.
I didn't know that, but hey, I guess
I think they're opening Peppa Pig World of Plays inside like Legoland California, Legoland
okay.
Florida.
I mean, the market for Peppa Pig is really.
I didn't realize, like, I always thought Peppa Pig looked familiar, but I didn't realize that it had been on the air for like 24 years.
Yeah, I actually, now that you mention it, like early 2000s, sounds about right, even though you don't really think. Because I mean, I didn't watch.
No.
Were you a Peppa Pig stan as a kid?
No, I missed out on the Peppa Pig bandwagon. I was more of a Thomas the Tank Engine guy.
Fair. That's a good point. Okay.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
We can fix it. Yes. Can Bricks and Minifigs fix it?
If we get some Lego Bob the Builder in stock.
Could you imagine? They didn't do Lego Bob the Builder.
They did.
What?
They did. I had it.
Is it Duplo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That would understand why.
There was also Lego Thomas the Tank Engine, which has been like a valuable property. Like there's the collectors of Thomas the Tank Engine. They just keep getting older, and as you get older, you get a little bit more money.
Yeah.
And so they, if they brought back Thomas the Tank Engine, they wouldn't even have to make it Duplo.
That's true. Yeah.
I have some friends.
They
that
could
would
like
buy
an 18 plus.
Yeah.
Thomas
18
the Tank
plus Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So coming into the store, what's the? Can you think across a couple favorites that, as far as sets that you've seen come into the store?
Back to Bionicle. Like the only Bionicle that we had on shelves for the first several weeks was Toa Matanui. I'm pretty sure the most expensive Bionicle ever, if not Karzani, maybe second place. And so that's just been up there. And
is he still over there?
He's still over there. I think even though some of us are big Bionicle fans, we're just like, I can't spend all that at once. So that one's awesome because like if we're not gonna have any Bionicles, to have that one, okay.
Yeah,
like
and just to have it in the store at all times, like the real ones.
Yep.
They'll know what that's about.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact about that, when I got a lot, one of my first big Bionicle lots for about $600, amongst many other, almost 90 other sets or even more. Toa Matanui was in there.
Oh my gosh, they didn't know what they had.
They didn't know. And while I was looking through the lot, I made sure the mask was there because that's
all
like
I want is the mask.
$200 or $300 for just the mask. And so I priced it out, estimating the value of all the other sets, and then allocated the cost accordingly. You know, nerd stuff. Whatever. I guess that's more like CPA accounting nerd stuff. But so I ended up paying about, amongst the $600, I paid about $80 for Toa Matanui, which is like, it's a $600 set.
Brag. Not so humble, just straight up bragging.
Just straight up, like, I brag about that one. I thought about bringing the mask and like wearing it as a chain to Brick World or something like that.
You and your masks. You always got the masks.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Gotta flex. Well, actually, I guess I did, because one of the masks was Toa Matanui, the Mika.
Oh, okay.
So, did you see those metal ones?
The metal ones, yes.
Yeah. Because we sort of. We met at Brick
World Chicago, and our mutual
year.
friend was Brick Fleet. Shout out Brick Fleet. Awesome Power Miners memes.
Freak Fleet?
He's a bit freaky.
Freaky Miners. That's what
miners.
It was.
Yeah. It was his birthday the other day.
So you guys don't have Freaky Miner content playing through the store?
I hoard all the Power Miners,
weekdays?
but I don't think anybody else wants any of the Power Miners. It's just been minifigures so far. But I'll be like, ooh, a Power Miner, and people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
Obviously not a Brick Fleet fan.
Obviously. I mean, is there a TV somewhere in here?
That would be cool if we had a TV.
Yeah, you need like a TV in here to play all
the videos
of the
of like the Rock Monster dancing.
Yeah. Just all the Brick Fleet
or the Brick
Brain
Fleet.
Rot
Instagram.
Yeah,
the Brain Rot constantly.
I'm sure Kevin would love that.
Yeah. Anybody older than 26 would love that.
It really hits the A-falls right in
That actually would be really cool to play Lego YouTube videos in here. Because I was thinking, like you mentioned that, like, oh yeah, they did old videos for Power Miners. But it's like people are doing videos every day. Like we could have like the Solid Bricks review of the X-Men Mansion going.
Yeah, that'd be all. I don't think there's That's free real estate right there that I just passed
Yeah.
along to you guys.
Yeah.
You just need a TV.
They should pay us to play them. And
Come
then,
on, Kevin.
And then there's ads. There's ads running, and I'm not going to pay for premium. So
True. Well, premium is worth it. I have premium.
I think I need. So I think YouTube understands that I will watch no matter what. So they give me
Ton
so
of
many
ads.
ads.
Yeah.
And like the last ad should just be, all right, Luke, buy premium.
Personalized ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's another lore update from Cooper. A British company, Merlin Entertainment, bought the Legoland parks in 2005.
Okay.
But apparently in the 2019, the Christensen family acquired Merlin. So
It's a sandwich.
they bought it back. So
Cool.
apparently maybe through a subcorp, they own a subsidiary. They own the Legoland and the parks.
That rings a
Again,
bell. Merlin is like the owner of Peppa Pig. Fairly certain. Fairly certain.
The pieces are coming
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
The yin and the yang. Lego, Peppa Pig.
So they announced that, because the sets came out in 2023 for the Duplo?
I'm thinking it must have been 2023 at this point. Yeah.
Because I remember when the leaks came out and...
Everyone was going crazy
Yeah,
for those
'cause-
Peppa Pig leaks.
Yeah, because I think we all thought it was going to be normal. We didn't really
Right.
expect the Duplo angle.
Yeah,
But
I in my video where I talked about that, what was my video? What even was that video? Why was I researching Peppa Pig? I don't know. But I mentioned that they need to do more licensed Duplo stuff because Duplo doesn't have as many licenses as
Yeah.
other themes,
Yep.
and so licenses bring people into the hobby, especially at a young age. And then they're hooked. They're Lego fans from the beginning.
it's a dangerous thing.
Because of Peppa Pig, it's a domino effect.
Absolutely.
It's the Peppa Pig Lego addiction pipeline.
I mean, it probably would work, especially if you implement some sort of tie-in to the... You could do a tie-in to the TV show. I know Lego's all about that. They're
They
trying
could-
that
yep.
new stuff.
Even The Simpsons had an opening scene where they were all Lego.
Did
but
they?
didn't use the official Lego Simpsons.
Oh,
they did
oh.
And then there's other. So Simpsons maybe makes sense because there's been Lego Simpsons.
Yeah.
But then there's other shows that'll do a Lego episode, and it's like you're not even getting paid
I
to
have
do that.
never...
And now we got the
I've never
Pharrell
seen
Williams
those.
movie. I still believe that is the weirdest thing ever.
Are you... Is that even out yet? I
It's
feel like
out. It's
people
out.
can watch it.
Yes, in theaters.
Is it? I
with
feel
their
like
eyeballs. Yeah.
I feel like everyone, all the influencers who were going to see it saw it, and then
Yep.
I haven't heard anything about
well,
it since.
I wouldn't go see it if I wasn't getting paid to see it either.
That's probably fair. But I mean, I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that Pharrell probably wouldn't put his name on something if he didn't think it was good. So
I
but
wonder
I don't know.
how that even happened. Imagine what was happening in the boardroom when somebody pitched that. Pharrell's
yeah, because was it Pharrell pitching
Yeah.
to someone and saying, "I want to make a biopic about my life,"
yes.
and then he said Lego? Who said Lego, or was it
right.
we need to make a Lego movie about someone?
Right.
What was it,
one
the chicken or the
closer
egg?
to? I kind of figure that Pharrell was like, "Hey, I'm open to do." Does he have a high voice? He kind of sings with a high tone.
Yeah, I think
yeah,
he
I'm open
maybe
to
not
it.
that high,
No.
but I think we can do a
He's like, I want to do a biopic. I love myself. I want everyone else to love me just as much. Let's do a movie about me, like I am Freddie Mercury or another
Yeah.
artist who's passed away. Although I guess Elton John's not dead, and he made a whole movie about himself.
They did, yeah.
And then
Maybe that's why it had to be Lego, because he's still with us.
he's still with us,
Yeah.
and he didn't want anybody else to play him other than himself. Actually, we might be onto something,
Dude.
But then I think he was at Warner Brothers, and I think Warner Brothers doesn't do Lego movies anymore. It might be Universal.
Yeah,
And so,
that's
and
lost
then
on me.
Universal or whatever the studio was is like, well, we have to make a Lego movie by 2025, and it's we can knock two birds out with one stone right here.
I mean, maybe the angle of who would even play him. I feel like he
Yep.
could be an actor and play himself,
He could, but then if he's
you don't
gonna be
really
young-
play true, and you don't
Yeah.
really play yourself in a movie about you.
There was the Howard Stern biopic about,
he
and
play?
he played himself, and so he's like a kid in high school, and he's just himself with a wig on. Yes,
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, apparently
Yeah.
I missed out.
I don't think it's appropriate for Bricks and Minifig stores.
No. Okay, well we don't condone that
Don't
movie
condone
here.
watching that movie.
here at Bricks and Minifigs.
Even the name of the movie that I just remembered is not even that appropriate. It's not terrible, but it's like.
Does it have like
the movie's called Private Parts?
Very
you could make a Lego
connotative.
private Lego parts.
Very connotative of certain an innuendo, if you
Yeah.
will. So bringing it fully back to Lego, are there any sets coming out soon by the end of the year that you've got your eye on?
By the end of the year,
I know we pretty much know everything.
Yeah. I can't think of anything that's still coming out this year as opposed to just like listings, rumors for next year that I'm excited for. But there is a set that came out and kind of went under the radar, and I didn't realize it was a thing until somebody mentioned it to me. And it's a Lego store exclusive. I'm fairly certain because it's not anywhere else. It's a Minecraft set. It's Baby Pig's birthday celebration or something like that. And so what it is it's a couple years ago they did large scale Steve with a chicken, and then like Alex with an ocelot.
I think I remember that.
They were like $15.
Yeah.
And they only did like 4 of them. It was like Steve, Creeper, Skeleton, and Alex. And I thought those were really awesome. And then they just stopped doing that. Just like my favorite Lego Star Wars construction figures. They just stopped doing it, even though we got the images for like the Clone Trooper and the Super Battle Droid. It's like, no,
that would have been so
don't
cool.
tease me like that.
Yeah.
It would have been the best. And so now they've got this new set that just came out to celebrate Minecraft's 15th anniversary.
Okay.
Although like a lot of people started playing Minecraft like 2011, but technically it started in like 2009. So it's the 15th anniversary.
Did it though?
It was like super small community and it wasn't survival mode. But yes, technically Minecraft.
Interesting, because I was gonna say it came out in 2011 after Skyrim, like a month or two after Skyrim.
That might have been when they did the official like Minecraft 1.0. It's no longer beta.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And so the set is celebrating that, and they've brought back these larger scale figures, and that so you can add to that collection that they axed several years ago. Yeah, I missed out on like the Alex set, and so I went onto eBay, and everyone was just like hiking up the price. Maybe it settled down since then, but it was good Minecraft sets. I'm not a huge purchaser of Lego Minecraft, but those were just like super classy and well done.
Yeah, I like some of the Minecraft sets where it's the animal houses.
Yeah,
because they're cozy and they're fun, and it's like building blocks, Lego bricks in a game where you use blocks. It just feels like it fits perfectly.
I remember like back in the day, honestly, my Lego Dark Ages kind of started in 2011, like as I'm like the end of middle school, beginning of high school, and so maybe I shouldn't be like playing with my toys as much. Like I probably stopped, flying my ships around and talking to myself. Kind of got a little uncomfortable. I didn't want anyone to catch me doing that, like flying my Boba Fett around.
That's fair.
Like,
That's a little more subtle.
Yeah. And so then I got to play a video game. Everyone's playing video games. And so I picked Minecraft, and people were like, "Oh, that's the Lego game." It's like, no, they're different.
It's different.
And it's like, well, they should work together. I'm like, yeah, they should work together.
Yeah. It's kind of ironic now that I think about it, where they don't. I feel like they should just use 2x2 bricks to build any set, just because that's
right.
Just because that's what
like a block.
Yeah, a true block.
Well, I was already going to mention that I am picky about my Minecraft sets because the proportions are never like perfect. Like in Lego, we have plates, just a thin plate. But in Minecraft, you would never have that. You'd have blocks. And so every Minecraft set is built on plates.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, you have to imagine that there's blocks that extend down beyond that, but then they'll put like the plate higher up in the set, and it's like, but that doesn't work.
You can't have a plate.
You can't have something thin like that.
You just have like slabs or carpet, but
or like
carpet's like tiles. Yeah, stuff like that. But no, it's funny to think about. So any other sets that you're looking forward to next year of stuff that's public?
Public? I don't know.
I don't think Bricks and Minifigs will fire you if.
No, yeah. If you talk about leaks at a Lego store, like you get fired. You talk about leaks at Bricks and Minifigs, you bring in all of the people who want.
Everyone
to know
comes
everything.
to this. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What are some things that we know are coming up?
I mean, what do you, like Star? You want to start with Star Wars, or I mean, Bionicle's still rumor. People that are holding on to the 2025 Bionicle rumors. I'm like, I was with you, but we knew. And I say we, like I was in the community at the time. When Bionicle was coming back in 2015, we knew in 2014, like at the beginning of 2014. So we would already know by now, unless they're just
better now.
Yeah, unless they're keeping that so close to the chest. I mean, like we were talking with someone out there about the Duck Bricks fiasco that's going on right now with all the info. Like people can read into that in a couple of the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
They've been reading into that of like I don't know if you saw, they took down the statues at Legoland, which is kind of sad because I never got to see those. But like oh, they're gearing up for this big launch because they're doing all this stuff. Like, no, they're just protecting their own IP because that's just what they do.
It is weird. I don't think it indicates that they're bringing Bionicle back, but they seem to be kind of like consolidating. Like they're bringing their cards closer to their chest regarding Bionicle. And I feel like what would make sense, like the gift with purchase, Tahu, I think that made a lot of sense. Because the only people who are really going to be buying Bionicle probably are older, have the money to spend. They're already fans of other Lego stuff. So the gift with purchase, even though it's not entirely fair, I'm not a huge fan of gift with purchases. Even I'll take advantage of it when they sell the barge. But I think gift with purchases are overall like bad for the community because they make you buy things that you wouldn't have normally bought. Like let's say you've already bought all of the big sets you want for the year, and then they come out with a gift with purchase you need, and you're like, well, now I got to buy more stuff. Yeah. And it's not really a deal. You do get that thing that you would have missed out on, but you're not saving money. Yeah, definitely. And did you like the gift with purchase, or you thought it was fine? I think it's cool that they're giving attention to Bionicle. Yeah. I kept mine in the box just because the box was like part of the experience. And I know when I open it up, it's just something I could build with parts that I already have minus the stickers. So I like that they're kind of doing, it's kind of like an 18 plus approach to Bionicle. So that would be cool if they just did like, because I mean, for us to expect Bionicle to come back is like so far-fetched considering even Castle fans don't have a theme right now. They have to buy like these $300 18 plus castles and stuff like that, blacksmith shop, if they want their stuff. And those people are way older and way richer. So for somebody like relatively young people like us to be wanting Bionicle, it's like we have a whole future ahead of us where that'll happen maybe someday. Yeah. Hopefully one day. I mean, the way I see it is, I feel like it could be perfect to have Lego releasing icons, like $100 revamp of Toa Matanui, or I think if they did an upscale Toa or Tahu. Are these on? There we go. I did it. Lighting's back. Just something like that to really test the waters. Yes. Do like a new mold. I'll die on this hill forever. A new mold of the mask and the weapons. Like those are the two things where it needs to have. Number one is the mask. Like it has to have a mask. How Tahu mask was just cheap. Even if they print on the new face shield, like for the buildable Marvel heroes. Like that would be, I would not be a fan of that, but that's just kind of test the waters. Like you're telling me, what's an icon set that came out that just did horribly? I know there's one. I know it. They've all done rather well. Like even didn't some of the Transformers ones not do Bumblebee. Too hot? So the Transformers Optimus Prime did great, and then the Bumblebee set, as a Transformers fan, it didn't really resonate with me. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if. They probably have other sets in the pipeline because they've only done Good Guys. They've only done Autobots. Yeah. So they'll probably come out with a Decepticon. And if that doesn't do well, they'll be like, all right, these Transformers are not selling the way we thought. Yeah. I think what actually went wrong with the Bumblebee there is that they established Optimus Prime. They got him right. Yep. And then they're stuck with a scale. And it's like, okay, so if we're going to do Bumblebee, he has to be smaller than that. But if you make him smaller, he's not going to be as posable. He's not going to have as much room for detail. And so they like wedge themselves into a corner there. Yeah, so I've heard that explanation as well. Bumblebee's got like a lot of rounded edges, where Optimus Prime's just like this big block. Yeah, so it's easy. So my money, how much should I gamble on this right now? I owe you some indeterminable amount of money. The next one is not Soundwave for the next Transformers icons. I think it'll be Soundwave because the boom box would just be perfect in Lego. That would be fun. And then you'd have the cassettes inside. Well, considering that's a no net loss for me, I'll take that. Yep. I'll take that bet. No, you lose more money. He didn't know what he signed up for.
I don't know what. Apparently,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there's a verbal
I'll be
contract
taking
on the air.
all of this live streaming gear and the YouTube channel. I'll be taking over the YouTube channel.
That's we have a problem. We have a problem.
I have no knowledge of accounting.
Well, I guess I haven't used too much accounting into the channel so far. But
Then I'd do fine.
at some point, I'll integrate that somehow. But with, I guess some of the icons of play, they've been like the foosball. Was the tree? Are you needed soon?
No. Somebody. So we right behind the camera here, we've got all of these Bionicle canisters, and so somebody needs to weave past us to check out some of these Bionicle canisters.
Okay. Well, it's been an hour already, so we can wrap up.
We could
pretty
wrap
soon.
up. We don't have to. If you had any more questions, we can get to them.
I think we're fine to start wrapping up.
I think we talked about everything I was thinking about talking about.
Yeah. So we'll let this person squeak through here. Go in. So to wrap up, Bricks and Minifigs new in Novi. If you Google Bricks and Minifigs Novi, super easy to find. I was able to find it on Google Maps very easily.
Yep.
Great location. I see a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential here with this location, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
Yeah, one thing I was going to mention earlier is like, because we're so new, like these parts on the table are basically new. The sets, they're not dusty.
Yeah.
Then those are downsides you may encounter at a store that's been around forever. And someday we'll have to hop over that hurdle. Like, okay, these parts are a bit scratched up.
Yeah.
But you come in right now and you won't have a problem with any of that.
Absolutely. So if you're in the area, in the Novi area, definitely check out this location. And I don't even have to hashtag add this because I'm not being paid in any way to say this.
Yeah.
So definitely check it out. Like, I'm looking at a ton of Bionicle stuff right now. Harry Potter, Friends. I mean, there's literally anything you could probably want. Modulars over in the corner.
Yeah, we've got like
so many
whole main
minifigures.
street. Yeah, follow us on Facebook and Instagram because I'll be doing little live streams showing off what we got.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm like the live stream guy.
Do you have the
lapel mic?
The lapel mic?
Based on your recommendations, I got a lapel mic.
Sweet.
It's very professional around these parts.
Well, thanks for having me today. It was great to talk to you for a little bit about the store, your involvement, and where things are going to go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting paid right now. This is the best job ever.
Yeah, he literally got paid an hour's worth of wage. That's more than I'm getting paid for this. So thanks to everyone for watching. Apologies, I couldn't keep a closer tie-in on the chat this live stream, but we'll be back next week with another classic live stream. And so I'll post pictures if you follow me on Instagram. I know Kathleen was asking for the canisters. I'll post a picture of all the canisters on my story. Yeah. So definitely check at CPA-fol on Instagram. There's like 100, no, not 100, 50, 30, 40.
There's kind of like one of each for every canister.
Yeah, for like almost one of each of every wave.
Set, yeah.
So not 100. That was a little overestimation.
Maybe. I can't count. I'm not an accountant. That's what the
apparently
job is.
I can't count. Yeah.
Right?
Apparently
like
I can't count either. All right, we're gonna end
Follow
it.
me as well. I'm Stud Economy.
Yeah, certainly _economy.
_.
Don't forget that underscore. Do you know if? I think we talked about this. Someone has the non-underscore version. Right?
Maybe I should take it if it's not
you
already
definitely
taken.
Should.
I wanted to have an account called Stud Finder as well. I thought that one was really good. That's taken. So I'm waging an internet war on that guy to get his account taken down.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it today, right now.
Just kidding. Don't.
Everyone in chat. All three of you.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Leave him alone.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week. And stay real. Keep it cool.